Hello, Lucas Nation fans. Welcome back to another exciting podcast. This is the Lucas Chat Podcast, Season 2. We're here today to talk about the number one anime that won for my website over at www.lucas904.wix.com/KLPC. Now, I hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. We have a lot of good things coming up within the past week. Of course, the weekend vlog episode 55, we headline Empire Aftermath. So guys, if you haven't seen Empire, the show, they started season 2 the past Wednesday. They started this season 2. So hope you guys are geared up for that season 2. Of course, we're going to be doing follow-ups of that show. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff coming up for that. Of course, guys, while we're talking about movies, John Blaze recently came out this past Friday. Not Friday, I should say Thursday. Now, again, guys, I did push it up, and I said it in the show. You guys know my reasons for pushing the movie up more, but we're excited to have the movie out. Excited to have a lot of good stuff going for KLPC and K.L.P Studios as I drop my microphone. So yes, guys, we're having one of the fantastic weekends. It's been really busy this weekend. A lot of stuff is going on. Again, I'm in college. I had the movie coming out. I'm doing the show, and of course, we had to push everything ahead just because of some scheduling reasons, and I don't have time in the schedule this coming weekend because I may be going out for the past weekend, so we had to push everything on Thursdays and Fridays before the weekend. So I hope you guys haven't been too annoyed with the pushover date with the movie and stuff, but we are sort of trying to push it. But this week, I really wanted to talk about this show, Absolute Duo. This show hits number 1 for the anime site, meaning that this was the best show of the month thus far. Of course, we're going to be KLPC Studios. We try to be fair about these. Every anime is really awesome. Like K-On!, we're watching K-On!, and that show is really, really awesome. So we're trying our best to rate these animes fairly, but to me, Absolute Duo kind of hits it for me. Now, it is about, of course, about action, adventure. It's about fighting. Absolute Duo. When you hear that title, you think of 2. Now, of course, the character named Tor and the other character named they spell it like Julie, but it's like Juliet. I think that's the name of the character, but it's spelled like Julie. I'm looking at it and it's spelled like Julie to me. But those 2 characters becomes partners. They become partners for life. They are like fighting partners. And then you have another character like Lilith, Tomoe, and Miyabi. Those are the supporting cast characters. Of course, there are a huge love triangle between all 4 of them. So it's like a triangle of 4, if you want to make sense with this. A lot of characters are in the show. This is one of the shows that came out in 2015. It's a recent show, so I like how anime nowadays are doing much better. I think, in my opinion, when shows come out in 2015, I think they become better. Their graphic style becomes better. The digital media portion and post production of the show becomes better. The dialogue becomes better and fresher, with brighter and fresher colors into the anime. Just like we reviewed the disappearance of Yuki Nagato in a other podcast. Just vibrant colors. The colors are becoming more brighter and more smoother, and the characters kind of become more relatable. So again, you have other characters like Tora, another sprite, supporting cast. You got Emery, however you want to say it, and all these other characters that come along with the show. Again, this show is action packed. Very, very awesome. I would advise you guys to go check it out. Now, I want to read you guys the plot here, and it's a long paragraph that we typed up, so we're just going to read little specks of it. Again, little specks of the show. Now, before we read the plot again, I wanted to see, we're trying to get it up now, where the show actually came out. Okay, yeah, so the original runtime for the show was January 4th, 2015 through March 22nd, 2015. It only has 12 episodes. We're not really too sure if they're going to do a second season. I haven't really dug so much in style with the see how many seasons they're doing, so I'm not sure if they're going to do season 2 or season 3 for that matter of fact, but the network, Tokyo MX, ATX, and Sun, those are the networks for Japan, but the studio is from 8-Bit. It was licensed by Madman Entertainment and Funimation. Of course, Funimation, we all know what Funimation is. Now, as we go on to the plot here, and I'll just read it for the review that we have written up here. Of course, we're going to link these. Excuse me. We're going to link the review onto the podcast website, which will be updated soon. Just give us, excuse me, a little bit more time for the blogging website. But the plot here, Absolute Duo follows the viewpoint character Tor, the main character, who enrolls in Koryo Academy, a high school where students battle each other with weapons known as Blaze. Now, when in that show, they call it Blaze because when you see the show, they're going to equip the weapons. They say Blaze on or Blaze off. They say Blaze on, then the weapon comes out. They have a Japanese name for it. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Name, but as training to become future peacekeepers. So they're kind of like heroes in a way. The students must pass a battle during the qualification ceremony of the freshman day in order to be enrolled into the academy. Now, I do remember seeing that. Of course, it was Tor and Imari, however you want to say her name. They meet up for the first time, and I think they were going to be kind of the love triangle within the series. But it's very funny how things kind of changed with that. It's really funny how all of it changed. Now, again, they meet each other for the first time in episode 1, but then they battle each other for the qualification letter saying that you get to be enrolled with the school. So, fortunately, Imari, she's one of my favorite characters in the show, honestly. She loses to Tor. Tor is in the school, and she will not be in the school. But later, and guys, before I say this, this podcast today has a lot of spoilers, just to be on the safe side. She goes to a different type of training school, and you'll see her again in the later episodes of the series. More like episode 11, 12, 13. Those type of episodes that she's in there. But, she's a side character. One of my favorite characters, honestly, between her and Miyabi, one of my favorites. So Tor's in the school, very, very, he's qualified into the school. Now, although most students manifest their blades as melee weapons, Tor's ability manifests as a shield. Now, again, when you guys see the series, now in the description below, I'll have the series from the website linked into the video on the description below, so you guys can check it out, making him an irregular. And what the director and the writer is trying to illustrate, irregular means that he doesn't really have much of a weapon to fight with. And all he can do is shield himself. That's all he can do throughout the whole show series. He's just using the shield as a weapon. So Kind of like Captain America in a way. Now, the school uses a special duo system, which students are assigned partners. Now, of course, that's hence the title, Absolute Duo. They have partners. Hence the title. Tor is paired up with Juliet. I think it is Juliet. Now that I think about it, Juliet, a silver-haired beauty from. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. It is in these notes. But must share a room with her. So again, Tor and Juliet, they're trying to they're partners, and now they have to share the same room with each other. Now that's with everybody that goes to this school. They all share a room together. They're all together all the time. Take a bath together. Do everything together. But Juliet and Tor are revealed to be an Avenger, while Juliet herself is awakening and processing unlimited power. He does not. So, in a way, Juliet, she's better than Tor, in my opinion. They both also have a tragic past because they're loved ones. Tor's sister and Juliet's father were killed by enemies, so both sister and father were killed, so they kind of have more of a similar interest in each other when they're close relatives that passed in their life. They're kind of the same in a way. Tor was previously befriended with Imari, who failed the qualification. Again, like I said earlier, Imari and Tor, they fought against each other to get qualified to go to the school. And in his road to the Koro Branch Academy. Now that's the other school they went to for the failed ones that didn't make it, that didn't quite make the cut. On a vacation island, and later paired with Maiwa to form a duo. Again, mostly just side characters. Again, as we go towards the end of the series, Miyabi, she's another character. You have to just watch the show. Well, before I get to Miyabi, I'm going to go to Lilith. Lilith is, I want to say British. She has sort of an accent in her character, so she's just kind of the character that comes into the story and meets the main character and try to hook up with him. I think every show's like that. I know Infinite Stratus had like sequences like that too, so I love it though. It's interesting to have different roles, I guess. So Lilith, she comes into the story. She wants to get with Tor, and Juliet and Lilith, they kind of go back and forth because hey, that's my man, that's her man. They don't want one another to steal Tor away from each other. So they kind of balance it out a little bit. Now Tomoe, she's another character. She comes to the story, has an interest in Tor, but not so much of interest as Miyabi. Miyabi was the main focal point that she loved Tor. And you'll see it once you see the final episode when she gets captured by the main boss, and then the main boss turns her into a crazy lady and then tries to kill him because Miyabi really wanted attention. Tor, and that's for every anime series, the main character never gives much attention to the ones that really loves him. Never. And that's with every anime series. And that's why I kind of enjoy the anime series, because it gives it that spark. Some anime stories, they get together and some they don't. So Miyabi and Tor obviously doesn't go together, but they became better friends. It's always good to stay friends when you're trying to hook up with a girl and it's not working. It's best that you stay friends. It's best that you just stay friends. So, along with the story short, Juliet and Tor becomes partners, and the side characters, they're just up and around. Now, this show here came out 2015, so we still have more time for them to develop a second season. Do I think they need a second season? Hell yeah, they do, because there's so much they need to prove into the whole series. I felt like, and this is why the show won #1, I felt like they left a couple of cliffhangers into this anime series, and I think that they didn't express everything clearly in the first season, so that may have us anime fans and podcasters and reviewers to think, yeah, they're gonna do a second season. Most definitely. Excuse me. I don't. Without I don't think, without a doubt, they're just gonna just leave the cliffhanger there and just finish the series, because this is a kick-ass series. Now, this used to be an ongoing series a month ago, so it's really recent, guys. Came out January through March, but it's still a recent series because with all these other anime websites, it's hard to find different. It's hard to find different types of sites you can go on to see these shows, but honestly, I think they need a second season. That's just my opinion. Now, I want to tell you guys the voice actors of each character, if you, because that's just something I like to do. Now, Rico Fajardo, I want to say his last name, Fajardo, I want to say that's his name. Now, his voice sounds familiar from a character from We Without Wings, and yes, I am right, we get the word Shosuke. He is the voice of Shosuke from We Without Wings, Under the Innocent Sky. Koda, I want to say his name, from B Got HK, and of course, Moto. He also played Moto in Arya the Scarlet Ammo, which I did podcast the last weekend. So it's always good to see these voice actors come back for other series. Now, Juliet, let's see, her voice actor is Bren April. It looked like it says April. If I say that correctly, then give me a thumbs up. Magara School Suit, she's also in That's To Be Announced, so maybe in later series. We're trying to get word here what other shows that she also played in. And that's pretty much it. She also played one of the characters from Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse, the newest Dragon Ball Z game. Very small resume she kind of has, but she's been in a couple. Lilith, the character Lilith was played by Kathleen Glass. Kathleen, yeah, okay, Kathleen. So it's Kathleen Glass. That's her name. Of course, she played in one of the animes that I am familiar with. We're trying to get word where. Okay, yes. Satellizer L. Bridget, she's in Freezing, the Freezing series, Freezing 1 and Freezing Vibration, which we're also watching Freezing Vibration right now, so just stay tuned for that. She played a character in a certain Magical Index 2, Data Live she was in, trying to get word here, Minori from Makinki and Makinki OVA. I love that show. And that's pretty much it that we're getting from her that I've seen. She's and let me just say this too. A lot of voice actors do a lot of stuff. I'm just naming the shows that I know certain actors from, because I don't want to name a character and then don't know the show. That's not what we do. Also in Skull Rumble, she was in. Oh, heck yeah. Okay, so she played Narine in Shuffle. I had no idea. I really did not have any idea. But I see why. That's a good British accent that she's doing. Shuffle came around back in 2008. That was my first anime show that I watched ever. So, that's one of my favorites. I just love that show, though. Okay, and then let's look at Tomoe, one of the characters from the show. Whitney Rogers, that name sounds familiar. Sounds very, very familiar. Let's see what she voice acted in. She's also in Freezing Vibration. She played Amelia. I think she died in the series. Yes, Yozora from Haganai and Haganai Next. One of my prime favorites. Probably will be doing a podcast over that show because that's just one of my favorites that really got me going. Miyabi was played by Ansley Domaige. If I pronounce your name right, then thumbs up. But if I didn't, don't hate me. She played Yukimura from Haganai and Haganai Next, again, one of my prime favorites. She has a very short, now I can honestly say for her, she has a very, very short resume in voice acting. She played about 4 characters, it looks like we're getting word. Um, Not so big out there, Ansley, but you're pretty good voice actor. I love your voice, so My favorite character from the series, Amari, was played by Michelle Rogas, if I'm pronouncing your name right. That name also sounds very familiar. Um, yes, Data Live. Yep, that sounds very familiar. And again, there's so many other characters that's in the show that I really don't really know, so I'm not gonna disclose of it too well. So yes, guys, I mean that's pretty much it. With the voice actors, there's only a handful of actual characters that's in the show, but again, they had a lot of guest stars into the show, so one of the shows that I can say was one of my prime favorites. I like the music. I like the first part of the series when the credits would come on. I like their song that Lilith and Ulie sung together. I love that. It wasn't them actual singing; it was Japanese singers. But once you watch the credits, it's like, wow, that's really cute. So, really, really do love this series, guys. I do advise you guys to go watch Absolute Duo. Again, in the description below, I will have the link copied and linked onto the description below for you guys to click on that link, and it'll take you straight to the website where I watch all my episodes. Well, not all of the animes that I watch, but some of the animes that I watch, especially Absolute Duo. If you guys really want to get into that show, it's down there on the link description below. Please be sure to watch this weekend. Now, we may not be able to do a movies podcast, but I know for sure we're doing a podcast over Rise of the Tomb Raider. Rise of the Tomb Raider is a new game that's coming out soon for PlayStation 4 and Xbox. So check that podcast out. Well, more of a gameplay, but it's via podcast. So hope you guys stay tuned for that. Now we're trying to support our videos in 720 and 1080p resolution. So just something that we're trying to brand out for K.L.P. K.L.P. Studios. So I hope you guys did enjoy today's podcast. Let's give it up for Absolute Duo on #1 for the month of September. I can't wait to see who wins October and November and December. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. As right now, I'm Kennedy Lucas, logging out.